Welcome to The Sugar Show, an inspirational podcast for savvy body sugaring professionals and those who are curious and want to learn to sugar. Have you felt alone on this journey of learning to sugar? Did you feel like you didn't learn enough in your company's certification class and are hungry for more? Are you craving more ideas on how to grow your business? Or what the latest products are you can use on your clients along with sugaring? Here's your host and guide for all things sweet, Shannon, the Sugar Mama. She's an esthetician, author, speaker, mom, sugar biz owner, and most importantly, a sugar professional, just like you. She helps estheticians all over the world not only learn to sugar, but to build their skills and confidence so they can not only set themselves apart, but provide the most amazing experience for their clients. In each Sugar Show, you are going to get help and inspiration, not only from Shannon, but from her very favorite colleagues who are doing amazing things that you should know about. This is The Sugar Show.
All right, let's dive right in, everyone, sugar professionals, and those of you that are maybe hoping to be sugar professionals. Today, I have with me my dear friend, Kirsten Foss. Hi, Kirsten.
Hello.
And she has a business called Kirsten Foss Coaching, and she really is this dynamic business coach for the spa industry. And we got to talking at, I believe it was the Long Beach show, about being an employee and versus being a solo. And so I wanted to bring her 20 years of experience as an esthetician who's been an employee and a solo and a spa owner and a mentor. And she really has like this smorgasbord of experience and talent that I wanted to bring to all of you so that you could understand what someone's journey has been like, so you can experience Kirsten's journey, but also to understand that there are so many benefits to not only being a solo esthetician, but an employee as well. So Kirsten, thanks for joining me on the show, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. So happy to be here.
Okay, so let's dive in. Share with the audience who you are and what your journey has been.
Well, I have been really lucky that basically my whole career, my whole adult life has been a career in the spa industry. So I started when I was 21, and I really was very clear at a really young age about what I wanted to do with my life. And it was very clear that I wanted to serve women, and particularly to somehow serve them in their self-confidence. Because I know that, as a woman or anybody, when our confidence is higher, when we're feeling better about ourselves, we go out into the world and it creates ripple effects with our families, our relationships, our work and what we do. And so when I found the spa industry, I was just so excited because it was like this beautiful opportunity to absolutely create change in women's lives. So it just ended up being that it was the spa industry that I did that in. So I got started as an employee, and it was really when the spa industry was just in its infancy stage, the whole full spa concept. And I spent 2 years as an employee at a really fantastic facility called Atlantis Day Spa in Tawasin in BC in Canada. A great owner who was an employee, who was my employer. And, after 2 years, I was just really clear that I wanted to create something bigger, in the industry for myself, as far as I had my own ideas about what I wanted to create for a spa. And so I went out on my own after 2 years as a solo. I rented space in a hair salon. And I didn't have any business experience. I really was going in with it with just a heart full of passion and a head full of ideas and just like total grit and determination. And I was young.
As we all do, right?
Yeah.
Ready for it. Take on the world.
Take on the world. And so it was a great opportunity in the hair salon. But of course, any of you that are working in hair salons as well knows that it's sometimes not quite the environment that you want to create. And so I had dipped my toes into being an employer while I still rented space in this hair salon, and hired my first employee right out of school. And then we maxed out our time there, and I opened up storefront. So I had a bigger facility, I hired more team members, and all of a sudden, everything was going to crap. And what I realized after the fact is that, I had a extremely successful solo business, but whenever we expand and create something bigger, if we have more employees, even one more employee, more clients, things get more complicated.
Right?
Really complicated. And it got really complicated really fast. And because I didn't understand the business side of the spa industry, which is really, it's complicated. We're not just service, we're not just retail. And, we're all about, we get into this industry to give to others and to be of service to others. So then we end up having a lot of, some money mindset issues about, how much we can charge because we're being in service to people. And so it, that expansion, although it was really exciting at first, got really, really stressful, stressful. Yeah. And I got married fairly quickly after opening that one. Then I got pregnant and had my son and realized all of these complications, I did not want them anymore. It was a lot of work, like more work than I thought it was going to be. And because I didn't have enough of my own skill set for business, I was just buried. And I just felt like I was saddled with this huge financial albatross, a lot of pressure because, I need to pay my team members. I'm responsible for people's paychecks and how they pay their mortgage or pay their rent. So, I realized I got tired of, sleepless nights, of worrying about how am I going to make payroll, in a way, because I was also struggling with my leadership with this slightly bigger business. I had team members that were kind of not doing what I would have wanted them to, but I realized I was really falling down on my leadership. And the fix was deciding that I wanted to sell it. And I really didn't kind of know how I was going to fix it because it was hemorrhaging money. And it really wasn't a viable business to sell. So I found trainings, spa business training in particular. And once that happened, it was spelled out to me, like the financial literacy of spa business, about leadership in spa business. All of a sudden it was like, okay, I can see all the holes that I have in this spa business. And I went home, and it took me about 6 months to create staff handbooks, operations manuals, to put together sales systems for my team. Once that was all kind of behind the scenes put together, now I had to train my team how to create change on the daily, as far as booking new appointments, selling more retail, increasing our average tickets. How do we increase our client retention? So I spent the next 6 months teaching my team and implementing everything that I had done. So it was a year of like hard work, but things had turned around, and I was able to sell my business for a profit and give the keys. In fact, I got a little keychain thing for the owner that had a little angel wings on it, and it was like, here you go. It's a viable business. It's
my gift to you.
It was such a like, I can just take this off of my shoulders. I don't have to worry about it anymore. That was a really great day for me. And I decided, I wanted to be at home with my little guy more, and I really wanted to just be an employee again. So I went and worked at a really beautiful spa as an employee, and man, that was a lot of fun. I didn't have to worry about payroll. I didn't have to worry about, oh my God, we got to hit these sales targets at the end of the month. As an employee, I realized going through this journey, starting as an employee, feeling like I had a vision and knowing how I could do it differently. I built it. Things kind of fell apart. I learned a lot. And then through that learning process, I really came to appreciate, being an employee in a spa business, especially if it's run well. because I could just do my job and serve our clients and, contribute to the company culture and just have all of us working towards the same goals.
Yeah.
It was great.
That's why we're talking about this today. Is I think that there are a lot of, with social media and some of the classes that people are taking, it's like, be a solo, be a six-figure, earner, you can be a solo. And I just feel like that's not for everyone. And you have demonstrated that. Like, you are a smart, savvy businesswoman, and it even was hard for you in the beginning when you didn't have those business skills. So I think we have to be really careful on just telling everyone, oh, go on your own, be solo. Like, that's the dream, right?
That's dangerous.
It's
That's
a dangerous
Yeah.
place. Yeah, it's a dangerous place. And I think people don't realize that. And I think that there is such a beautiful space to be an employee. And sometimes it's not perfect. I get
Nope.
that. Neither side is perfect.
And
But I
rarely
really want
is
to,
it.
right?
Rarely is things perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I really want to talk about the benefits of being, like, what is so special about being an employee to you now that you've kind of done all of those things? Like, and how can you see, like, how do you, like, build being an employee? Because often coaches just talk about building being a solo, and that comes with a whole different business skill set that, quite frankly, estheticians that just want to care for
Yeah.
people don't want to deal with.
Well, and
So let's talk about the benefits of being an employee and, like, how that can be such a beautiful thing.
Well, I do feel like there is a lot of hype out there about, going solo, and that's the answer to all your problems of being an employee. And it is a dangerous kind of statement to make, as far as, the answer is to go out on your own and, just do it, take a chance.
Oh, you'll be six figures, and I think that that's misleading. It's six figures gross, maybe.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
net,
like
after
yeah.
paying
Six
for,
figures,
yeah.
6 figures gross means that you brought in $100,000 in revenue. That does not mean that you keep that. Like, you've got a big chunk of that is going to be expenses. Another chunk of you need to put away for taxes, your own personal taxes. So there's not usually a lot left at the end of that 100,000. Like, it's enough to earn a living, but it's not 100. You're not making and clearing and bringing home 100,000. You'd have to be, I actually just did this work for a solo. She's hit her $100,000 mark, and now we're at that place. Okay, well, now she wants to make 100,000 in her own wages. Like, you have to make exponentially more than that to bring home $100,000
For your own, for your own pay, for sure.
So consider, just think about that. How many people have to come through your door in a year for you to take home $100,000? It's a lot. And it usually means that you have to really be on the ball with your retail sales, like all of it. Yeah. That's a finely optimized solo business that does not happen in the first year, or even the first 2 or maybe even 3 years, especially if you don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the benefits of being an employee, because, there's all kinds of benefits on the other side. Let's talk about the benefits of being an employee and what that looks like, and how someone can really build their business. You can still have a business of your own self by being an employee. So let's talk about the benefits of that.
Well, I think one of the best benefits as an employee is that you really can just focus on your own kind of professional growth. You don't have to worry about, your, employees to help them. It's just you and your own personal growth, and personal and professional growth, really.
Mm-hmm.
So you can show up for work, your clients are there. You can serve your clients in the treatment room. You don't have to worry about what you're going to post on social media. You don't have all these extra worries that happen when you have your own business. So I think the biggest one is you can really just focus and fine tune your own skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be your hands-on skill set. And that would also be your own personal leadership skill set, developing that. Mm-hmm. So, when you just have to show up to work and do your own thing and be part of a team, of course.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of energy that you have that can just be focused in one direction and not like be all over the place.
Yep. The
That
taxes are
is
taken
huge.
out for you. If you get a sick day,
Yeah.
and as a solo, if you're not in the treatment room and you get sick or your child gets sick, you're not making any money.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, as far as, you don't have, you don't have to worry about taking off any taxes for your paychecks. You get your paychecks, you deposit them. It's an easy way to move through this industry and to be very, very focused on your skills and what you provide your clients.
Yeah. I think there's some folks that get hung up on like percentages and, well, what percentage do I deserve? And I think that's an interesting conversation too, where I think you need to realize like where you are working, what environment are you in? Are you in a large spa? Are you just with another solo and you're her employee? What are you bringing to the table? What retail are you selling? Like really diving into what you are bringing to the table before you have, I see a lot of people that go, well, how much commission am I going to make?
Yes.
Well, on what? Like on retail, on services, what, like there's so much more to that. And I know that especially in California, like you as an employee, you get paid even if you don't have clients walking in the door. You at least get the minimum wage, or you don't get that as a solo.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So lots of factors to consider, but really so many benefits.
Absolutely. And, when it comes to employees, I've seen these conversations on Facebook groups about, I won't take anything less than X commission, or, other estheticians, giving advice as far as you shouldn't take any less than 50% commission. That comes just from not having an understanding of how the back end of the business works.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the back end of the business and compensation, it is almost impossible to keep, things rolling, for profit for the spa. And not even to have a profit, but just to keep things rolling if they're paying 50% commission. So that it's an unsustainable business model. So if you want to be working in a business that has a sustainable model for them to be able to keep you employed, asking for these high commissions, it's going to backfire on you.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford to pay those kinds of, it's just, that's how it works.
It's not that they don't like you.
No, it's not that they don't like you or appreciate it. That there are so many expenses on the back end of the business that employees don't see, which is why there's actually been a big shift in compensation over the past 10 years I've seen in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be like 50% commission was just standard. You can't maintain that. So,
apples and oranges too. Like there's so many variables. So talk to the audience that's really like, okay, I think I'm going to choose to be an employee. I'm not sure if I want to go solo, but how can I make the most of my employee experience? Like stepping into my personal leadership, what should they be focusing on that they can control?
Okay. So as far as their own personal leadership, I think what that means is knowing that you're responsible. Really, it's like, how I know I'm responsible in some ways here as an employee. Which pieces can be my responsibility that I can create change with?
Mm-hmm.
And every employee has that ability. And in fact, as an employer, we really, really want you to show up with that kind of mentality of, this is my hands-on skill set, but in my personal leadership, I'm hungry to like really be in this industry and serve. I'm hungry to build a clientele. I'm hungry to, make sure that my schedule is fully booked. How do I do that? I'm hungry to be part of a team that's working towards kind of a bigger picture here, about, serving our community and being, the top facility in our community. We need employees that come all with their personal leadership to work together towards as far as the company values and the company culture. And when you when you step into that in your employment, you've got a lot of power. Your employer sees that you're hungry. And I know for me as an employer, when I see team members that like, hey, like, what can I do? Like taking initiative. How can I help? Hey, I have this idea for marketing. Maybe you've already heard of it. I don't know. Just thought I'd throw it out there. That's how you bring it to work. That's how you bring it to the table and start increasing your bookings and start increasing your retail sales. You have to have that drive, that inner drive for like, how can I do this better? Not what I sometimes hear of, like, as far as employees is like, well, what are you going to give me?
Right. What's in it for me?
Yeah. What's in it for me?
If I'm going to give better service, what's in it for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what's in it for you is a client experience that these people are going to say, oh, I need to go see Shannon.
Yes.
I need to go see Kirsten.
Yeah.
And I
and they
want
hear it
to go see her.
Yeah.
And she happens to be at this location, but she's my girl. She's the one that gets my skin smooth. She's the one that, knows me. And that is such a more fulfilling place to be. And no matter what you do in our industry, that's why you said you even started, was because you wanted to serve, right? Well, this is a platform where you can serve and you can treat it like it's your own business and treat your clients in that way that you started in the very beginning, was to love on them and create this amazing experience for them. You can do that as an employee, not by what you deserve. What am I going to get out of being nice to the clients?
And it's really about showing up to your employer and being vocal about those things. Like, not just kind of sitting and waiting for clients to book, but being proactive and having those conversations with other, with your spa manager or the spa owner,
as if it was your own business.
Like it was your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, trust me, spa, and if you approach it in a way of like, hey, I'm just hungry and I'd like to help and I would like to do more, owners love that. They may have to throttle you back a little bit and be like, oh, those are great ideas. Let's
Easy, tiger.
Yeah, we can talk about them. But
yeah,
just that really just shows that you obviously have a passion for this industry, and that's the kind of energy that brings in more clients. It's contagious.
Yeah.
And like you said, like that you have your great skill set, but it's your personality that you bring to the treatment room as well, that clients leave and they're telling their girlfriends when they're picking up kids from school, like, oh my god, you got to try Shannon, she's amazing, and that word of mouth, how it goes around.
And if you are in your space and say you walk into the restroom or the lobby and there's tissue on the floor, or there's maybe stock that hasn't been refaced and looking beautiful, take a moment and treat it like it is your business, no matter how you're compensated. And I'm promising you that it will come back to you tenfold, and you have this gorgeous space that someone else has paid for, that someone else is worried about whether the lights are on. All you need to worry about is how beautiful the space is and how you come to serve and how you show up early and your room is ready and warm and smells amazing and feels amazing, no matter how you're compensated, to step into your own personal leadership in your role. Not only will show your employer, that you're in it to win it, but it'll be good for you and your heart and your fulfillment. Yes.
It's fulfilling. And I think that's often what happens as employees when they start looking out, at, oh, maybe I should go out on my own. There's usually some sort of lack of fulfillment happening. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important to be introspective. Again, that's that part of that personal leadership, is having self-awareness. Like, okay, what parts of this isn't working for me?
Yeah.
And you may actually not be in the right facility with the right owner. That could very well be one of the issues. But when we are able to be more objective about what's not working in our employment situation and be clear about what we do want, and tapping back to, like, why are you doing what you do? It's a big piece in spa business that's talked about, is like, what is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? And the whole purpose to identify your why is because things get really tough. And there's going to be times, a lot of times, when you want to quit and just walk away from it all and, seeing it burning in the background and you're totally fine with it. Knowing why you do what you do keeps you connected to the business, but it's the same reason, it's the same modality to do as an employee. If you're feeling like not loving what you're doing and you're feeling really unfulfilled, is to go back to that why. Why did I get into this in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
Once we get back to feeling really clear about that soul kind of purpose, about why we're doing what we're doing, that starts creating some opportunity to look at, maybe I'm not in quite the right facility. Like, values wise, it seemed like it was a good fit, but it's not quite a right fit. So I'm going to start looking at another facility that maybe is a better fit values wise for me.
Yes. And I am so excited to have you on the after the podcast show that's inside the SugarTribe, because we are going to address this topic next.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of, what do you do if you realize you're not in a space that's maybe encouraging your growth, or you're not able to, you've been working really hard on being the most amazing employee and that place might not be a fit. What are your options? And that is going to be in the after the show, which I am so excited for. We'll be recording that next and talking about, what do you do? Do you go solo? Do you make the best of it where you're at? Do you go to another employee situation, and what do you look for differently maybe next time? And that's going to be in the after show. For those of you that are in the SugarTribe, you will get access to our after the show class. That class is going to be next. And if you are not in the SugarTribe, then you need to jump over to lovetossugar.com, jump into our SugarTribe, and you can experience all of the amazing community and offerings that we have there. So, Kirsten, thank you so much for inspiring us to be a better version of ourselves and to be amazing employees or solos in our journey in the sugar world, in this beauty world. And I really, really appreciate you.
Thank you, Shannon. Thanks so much for having me here.
Yeah, absolutely. So come join us in the after the show and learn more about what you can do if you're not exactly perfectly happy in your situation. I look forward to seeing you in class.